Good evening and welcome to the 2021-2022 Cooper City Open House. I am Miss Mogan and I am your child's English 4 teacher this year. I'm really excited to be able to share with you what my classes will be like this year, and I'm going to do it in a way in which I'm going to be guiding you through the Canvas page that your children will be using throughout the year. So I have up right now, I'm teaching multiple courses. Your son or daughter might be enrolled in either my college prep class or my English for honors class, but whichever one that they are enrolled in, I'm just going to show you one because all the information on there right now is relatively very similar. So I'm just going to go ahead and open up my English for college prep class to kind of guide you through what the page looks like. So first off, yes, I've been teaching at this school for many years. I've had a lot of these students before, but I'm very excited to have them again as seniors. This is my first year teaching seniors, and I've already enjoyed them so much, having everyone back in the classroom again. So on our Canvas page, there are a couple things that you need to be aware of. I'm going to show you what the student view looks like in a lot of places, which will benefit you and your child to help them successfully navigate through my class. So right now, definitely some of the announcements. I have senior info up. That will be very important. That will be changing throughout the year as more dates are released for upcoming senior due dates and various information that they need to be aware of. That is under our senior info. And like I said, that will be under announcements. I wanted to go through quickly kind of what our syllabus will look like. It also goes through course description, all the things that I went through with them on day one, which is also available under announcements. There will be a PowerPoint there, which all the kids saw day one, which you can feel free to go through on your own if you would like to see how day one of my class kind of went. But a lot of the information on the syllabus, which is in front of you right now, is also what was on that PowerPoint. So our course description here, English for honors as well as English for college prep. We work with a lot of different things that we feel that our seniors here need before they graduate. Again, includes definitely some work with reading, writing, depending on what we read this year. It's going to be very good and fun collective works. We're also going to work with speaking as well as listening skills. In my class, I've always tried to explain to my students that one of the things I like to work with is various ways of communication as well as various ways of teaching. So whether you're an audio learner, you are a visual learner, or a kinesthetic learner, I want to be able to work with all of those different types of learning skills in my class. We watch a lot of videos, we listen to a lot of different things. We've already done an assignment listening to various songs through Influence. We will do hand creations as well as today we actually started working on a poster project. So a lot of things that they will be doing. We will be working with obviously things on Canvas, but I want to make sure that they're refining their skills with writing on paper as well as creating things with their hands as well. So yes, reading, writing, speaking, and listening, as well as working to enhance our understanding of English language and literature. So yeah, short stories will be a focus in both the college prep as well as English honors, poetry, epic poetry, some satire, a little bit of Shakespeare here and there, and then the work with a little bit of archaic language through some British pieces as well as some other regional short stories. I've told my kids all along that one of the very important aspects that this school has been working on the last couple of years is the inclusion of vocabulary.com. I'm a really big supporter of vocabulary.com. If I have had your child before, they should know that at this point. So vocabulary.com will be a big component. Since day one, I have had the information up physically in my classroom as well as on Canvas on how each of my students should be accessing and joining my vocab.com class. We will be starting our first assignment with that very soon. So I will, at the end of this presentation, also show you where you can access the information to make sure that your child has successfully joined vocab.com and have joined the right class. So we're going to be using vocabulary. We're going to look at some writing styles in this class, including college writing as well as personal reflective writing. Again, working on refining some of those skills that we may not have used as much over the last year. Grammar and mechanics and the use of Khan Academy will also be a staple of this class, as well as some SAT review for those interested in taking the SAT or taking it again, as well as those who want to look at other types of college admissions like the ACT. So lots of different types of college prep in that capacity as well. So I've gone over classroom rules. All of my students at this point, their first assignment that was due for my class was a student acknowledgement to make sure that they understand and acknowledge all classroom rules and expectations of them. You can feel free to go over this with you. Again, it is on the PowerPoint that I will show you where it is at the end of the presentation, as well as in the announcements. So again, we're making sure that they understand rules such as cell phone rules, and importantly this year also the mask mandate, making sure that their face, their nose, and their mouth are completely covered throughout the entire class period. So I do have an electric portion, making sure that they understand how to appropriately use technology within the classroom, including laptops, cell phones, and any other thing that we might be using for academic purposes. This also goes through consequences. Again, this is something that I would like for you to go over. It is all presented in the PowerPoint, and all students should be aware of it at this point. Grading and evaluation, something that I would like my students to know, and I told them day one that my class is based on wanting them to succeed. So it's not just homework based, it's not just quiz based. I give points for a lot of different things, including behavior points as well as participation points. So I'm willing to give points for extra credit work, for raising your hand and participating with a discussion, for lots of different things. One of my biggest things that we grade throughout the year, aside from tests, homework, assignments, projects, is a notebook. That is one of the required class materials, is a composition notebook. Most students have brought them in at this point. If your child still does not have one for my class, they need to be brought in within the next week, because we have already started working in them. So that is one of the required materials for my class. It is a big grade in my class every quarter. So I'm bringing that up a little bit early because I want you to understand the importance of that notebook. So I've also gone over plagiarism and cheating and how that can severely impact a student's grade, and how they understand that if they are caught plagiarizing, whether it is a turn-in assignment on Canvas or a turn-in assignment in class, that can result in a 0 for that assignment. Expectations, same thing. I want them to be aware of what they're expected to do while they're in class and what is inappropriate within class. But please take a minute to read over these. We did go over them in detail day one of school this year. But also make sure that we are discussing tardies and the importance of being in class first and foremost in the morning, and making sure that we are also reaching out if we are late to a class, and making sure that we get caught up on any work that a student might have missed. So like I said, I have class materials here. Most of them are going to be very basic: writing utensils, paper. Since we are working on a poster project right now, I require things such as color pencils, but things like that. But again, the biggest thing that we need to make sure that the students have is the composition notebook. That is something that will remain in class once it's brought in, and it will only go home if a student needs to make up an assignment in that book. As well as I mentioned vocab.com. Another very important component of my class is Remind. A lot of my students used it last year. It was a requirement. It is as well this year. Remind is very, very important. You as the parent are more than welcome to join my Remind for my class. Since I am with seniors now, it is very important that I am sending out information that they need, not only the academics, but also deadlines, also upcoming dates for special events, senior only events. So things like that I will be sending out on Remind. I'm asking my students to join. If you have never used it, it is free to use either the app or just the website. And I will show you in this presentation where you can access the code to join my Remind as well. So these are just some of the materials that I would like you to get, or to make sure that your child has for my class. But most seem to have those supplies already. And then again, this is just for contact purposes. I try to be as respondent as possible when it comes to responding to parents or to my students when they have questions, when they need to reach out to me. Best way to reach out to me is either through my email, which I'm providing here. Again, it is on Canvas, as well as through Canvas. Most students use that in order to reach out to me, and I try to respond as quickly as possible and Remind. If not that day, I will try to reach out to the student the next day. We also talked about time. making sure that they understand that at a certain point of the day, I might not respond until the next day during school hours. So these are the best ways to reach out for me. And I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Again, this is our quick highlight of our syllabus. This is all, again, on Canvas under the syllabus page, but I also wanted to show you under the files page where you can access a couple of the things that I mentioned, specifically things such as, hang on one second, let's see. So everything that we have done this week is going to be here. If your child happens to be absent, it is their responsibility, like I kind of mentioned before, that they are reaching out to me about their absences, and they are making sure that if they are absent, they are coming back to me and following up with whatever they missed, whether it's reaching out to me ahead of time if they know that they're going to be absent, or telling me when they return what they can do to make up that work. So sorry, I do apologize. 1 second. I am getting out of this specific view. We're still under student view. Let's see. All right. So in our pages section, I have for you guys here any files. So again, files are where I'm going to post a lot of things after we might have gone over it for the day. That is the access point for a lot of documents if your child happens to be absent. Under pages, I have all the important forms and websites. If you did not yet fill out the code of conduct information, I have it here for you. I also have how you would join Remind. Again, you have the freedom to join Remind as a parent. And again, I'm just looking at one of my classes. My A day and B day are kind of split, so make sure that you're joining the correct class. And there is just a document here. It shows you the code which you would use to join Remind. And then finally, again, for my students, I have all the links to join vocab.com. It is right here. Just have been trying to tell them in class to make sure that they are using the appropriate link to join the appropriate class. So if they are in first period, they would join first period class. Finally, best ways that really we can make sure that your child succeeds in my class is I want to be as open as possible with students. I want them to be able to talk to me if needed. I want to have an open door policy. And I already feel with so many of my students that I've developed that rapport with them from years in the past, which is great. So I want them to be able to reach out to me. I want you as a parent, if you have any concerns or questions, to reach out to me too. Again, best ways are email, Canvas, or Remind. And then after that, just making sure that you're monitoring your children via Canvas or monitoring them on Pinnacle. I make a lot of notes on Pinnacle about grades, why a grade was posted or why a grade was what it was. So if you have those questions, you can always reach out to me too. So other than that, everything, as much as I can, has gone to Canvas, and it will be continuously added to Canvas. And everything that you really need is either going to be in the announcement section for open house. If you want to go through that PowerPoint, feel free to go through the PowerPoint. If you would like to join Remind, feel free to do that. And again, if you have any questions for me, feel free to reach out to me personally. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. And I truly hope that you enjoy the rest of your evening. And we're going to have a great school year this year.